How was your day? Glad you could join us today. We got it with no time to play, with no time to wait. So we're gonna keep up the pace. Hey, most likely, y'all don't know about IT. I mean, like, most of the old folks, they don't know. Yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Today we're talking IT.
Yeah, okay, hey, yeah.
Today we're talking IT.
Yeah, alright, ooh,
We're gonna keep it lively.
Okay.
Learning here is likely.
Hey.
When we're talking IT. IT.
yeah, hey,
Today we're talking IT.
know your computers, this for the viewers.
Today we're talking IT.
We are the tutors, we got the humor, yeah.
Today we're talking IT.
okay.
Learning here is likely.
Learn to hear is likely, so let's start IT.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk IT. It's your host in the studio, Kivisha Gums. Of course, Naim Richardson is not here, although they are working on a couple of things, which will be said later in the episodes. We do have a special guest today, Shamar Pemberton, also the leader for the Marine Drone Challenge. Am I right?
Yep, that is correct.
And then, of course, you have me, the triple character person in the studio. Obviously, Sanjeev, Scrazy, and Promo Plug.
Yep.
3 different personalities here. So, guys, welcome. For those who are tuning in right now, this is our episode of Let's Talk IT on Win FM 98.9. We air every other Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on yours truly, 98.9 Win FM, on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, LinkedIn, and a bunch of other streaming platforms. We are live. Now, guys, let's switch over to the studio. Shamar, introduce yourself, please.
All right, so as he mentioned, my name is Shamar Pemberton, guys, and I am the current leader for the St. Kitts Nevis Marine Drone Challenge, one of the newest projects created by the St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association. Now, much about myself, may really gonna dive too deep into that. Right, but while I have the floor, I'm going to just give you all a little rundown on the Marine Drone Challenge. No, so before I go anywhere, let me just start at the beginning. So the idea for the Marine Drone Challenge came from a project, my capstone project that I started at CFBC, right? From there, it was pushed with the assistance from the St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association to making it something bigger, which is the St. Kitts Nevis Marine Drone Challenge. Right? So the Marine Drone Challenge is a youth building type of activity. It's a project that helps to develop the youth within our federation. Right? This includes promoting skills like critical thinking, teamwork, different concepts in science, mathematics, technology, engineering. Right? And the list goes on and on and on. Right? Now, the Marine Drone Challenge, as the name states itself, is a challenge underwater, right? Now, I know everybody, you see the drones them in the air, you do your flips, your front flips, your back flips, your spins.
You know, I actually have a quote. I had a great question that came in last time, because I have been promoting the Marine Drone Challenge on the show for past 2 months. We had a question last week, which was quite funny, because one person thought when we said Marine Drone, and I was explaining that, do not worry, we have lifeguards on duty who are there to protect the children if they fall in the water. So I got a question, interesting one. Why do you have a pool for a drone competition? And then I explained what Marine Drone Competition is about, and we had a very interesting answer from them. They thought that we were going to fly the aerial drones underneath.
In the water.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if I'm being honest, when I first came up with the idea, I was thinking a multi-purpose type of drone. You know,
that
a
goes
drone
up and down?
that could both fly, submerge, and even rover on land. You know, I was thinking a multi-purpose drone that could do all three. But you know, that was a bit too. I won't say it was a bit too pushy, but something to think about.
I think we need to talk later. I actually have a 3D model of something that I need to show you. But yeah, guys, so Marine Drone Competition, when is it scheduled exactly?
So the Marine Drone Competition is scheduled to happen next weekend, starting from the Friday, that's April 30th, and ending on the 2nd of May. So it's a full weekend type of event from the Friday to the Sunday.
All right. So before I ask any other questions,
Mhm.
just to give a quick promo of the event, should I play a quick clip?
Sure.
Wow, your voice is really subtle. All right. Meanwhile, while I try to figure out how to increase your voice in this clip, let me just introduce you guys to one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys do want to check this event out, it'll be live streamed on YouTube and YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at SKNRA or the St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Association or the SKN Robotics Association. Promo plug back in the studio.
Tune in, guys. You don't want to miss it.
But by chance, do you have a time frame that they can expect to tune into?
We plan to start the competition at around 10:30. Well, it's different stages, but the main event starts on the Saturday. That's the 1st of May at around 10:30, right? So you should tune in by then. You should be able to get from the beginning to the end and back your supporting team. But we're going to get more into that a bit later on. Hi, my name is Shama.
You can hear that?
And I'm the currently
Yeah.
low, but
It's not
Why
loud.
is your voice so low?
Oh, you said it's low.
yeah.
Yes, it's low.
I thought he said loud.
No, it's actually really low. Like, I'll come back to that. But, how many schools or teams are we expecting during this event?
Okay.
Because it is something fairly new for the federation in
It is.
general.
It is.
Is it federation or the entire OECS or Caribbean?
It's the Federation. Other places within the Caribbean have adopted marine drones, right? Places further north like Puerto Rico, Cuba, Cayman Islands, Virgin Islands, though they have already started it, right? St. Kitts. The funny thing is that, well, aside from our competition that we're having here, there is an international competition that's held in the U.S. annually, right, for the same Marine Drone Challenge. Although this is slightly different because, everybody has COVID, they decided to put the competition on a virtual base, but the competition is still happening. To enter that international competition, participants would have to compete in a regional qualifier. Now, regional qualifiers are scattered all across the globe, right? After competing in a regional qualifier, once you place, I'm assuming first, second, third, depending on how many slots you're given, you have the chance to participate in the international competition. As of last year, late October, early November, St. Kitts became one of those regional qualifiers, meaning that any team willing to participate from anywhere around the globe on the international level can come to St. Kitts and participate. But seeing that this is our first, we have to soak in the glory for ourselves. So we're just keeping it in the federation for now. And as time goes on, as the years pass, we're going to be more open and more expounded on it. So, yeah. As for the schools, so for our upcoming competition, we have 4 schools set to compete in our regional qualifier, our local Marine Drone Challenge. These teams are the Washington Archibald High School, the Bastille High School, the Charles E. Mills Secondary School, and the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College. All big names when it comes to anything in competing, right? So this should be something quite eventful next weekend. I can't stress it enough, guys. Show all our support and tune in.
Yes,
Trust
yes,
me.
yes. So, question.
Go ahead.
Question. How did the drone competition came about?
Right, so funny story about that actually. I was just thinking, when I came up with the idea, it was just to be a project, something I could get grades from, right? But under the push and the drive of my past lecturer, Dr. Neil, he said it could go further, right? Don't just lay it steady and just be a project, and as a graduate, it just dies out, So he egged me on to push it forward, and so said, so done, right? We
And
decided to.
today.
Here we are today, right? Trying to do our best to develop the youth within our federation, because although we're small, Bitalawa.
How many years has this been in the works?
Well, I have graduated CFBC for about 2 years now, right? So the project itself has been something working on behind the scenes for about that much time, for about 2 years.
Interesting, because last year I was actually part of the drone thing at the college,
Mm.
and I remember that we were talking about you a lot.
Well, small body, big name.
Literally.
But yes, guys. Once again, well, this time it's not Sanjeev in the studio. It's actually promo plug. Real quick, guys. Once again, as always, tune in every other Tuesday on 98.9 WinFM to join your hosts Kivisha Gums and Naim Richardson as we uncover the various realms within IT and STEAM. We also go live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch at Win Media SKN. Let's Talk IT is also available on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Spotify. If you guys want to tune in when you're at work, when you're in the bathroom, when you're in class, you just want to listen to us, you can always tune into our podcast. But if you guys do want to check us out on our social media and to get acquainted with our upcoming events and so forth on SKNRA, you could go check our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, and LinkedIn at SKNRA, the St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Association, or SKN Robotics Association on YouTube. And to be updated on everything IITAE, or the International Information Technology Academy of Excellence, you can go and check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at IITAE or IITA Limited. Now, a big shout out to our sponsors, SKNRA, the St. Kitts and Nevis Whoa! I am so used to saying marine drone.
Sanjeev?
You know what's crazy? Actually, I have a script. And I'm still messing up.
Sanjeev?
That's the power,
you need
man. That's the power.
glasses?
Huh?
You need glasses?
I definitely do. Definitely do.
Sorry.
But yes, guys, our big shout out to our sponsors once again. SKNRA, the St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Association, I almost said marine again. IITAE, the International Information Technology Academy of Excellence, and TDC. Now, for our listeners who want to call in and ask some questions regarding the marine drone competition or anything regards to it, our call lines are 662-0989, 762-0989, and 466-0989. And for our international callers, I will let you know about the numbers really soon. But guys, let's wrap up this segment. Come on, let's be back right after this short break.
All right.
I am terrible because I do not know what I'm doing. Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Hey, how was your day? Glad you could join us today. We got it with no time to play, with no time to wait, so we're gonna keep up the pace. Hey, most likely, y'all don't know about IT. I mean, like, most of the old folks, they don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Today we're talking IT.
Yeah, okay, hey,
Today we're talking IT.
yeah, alright, ooh,
We're gonna keep it lively.
Okay.
Learning here
Yeah.
is likely.
Hey.
When we're talking
Hey.
IT.
Hey.
IT.
yeah, hey,
Today we're talking IT.
know your computers, this for the viewers.
Today we're talking IT.
We attitudes, we got the humor, yeah.
Today we're talking IT.
okay.
Learning here is likely.
Learn to hear is likely, so let's start IT.
Enjoy the green life with TDC Home and Building Depots. Purchase select eco-friendly products and get 20% in savings. Celebrate Earth Week with us from the 19th through the 24th. Shop in store with your green bag or online and get even more green savings. This April, live green. Think TDC Home and Building Depots. Terms and conditions apply. Offer good while stocks last. See stores for details.
I am so bad at this. Guys.
You'll be fine.
I'm still trying to, because there's too many mouses around me, and I'm trying to figure out which mouse does what. So, guys, let's see if this works this time. It's the promo that is for the St. Kitts and Nevis Marine Drone Competition. Let's see if it works this time. Shama, let's hope your voice is projecting. Yep, I'm not doing that anymore. Screw that. Shama, you have your script. You can talk about
You
that.
can't put it close to the mic. Just bring it up to the mic.
No, it's connected directly. Yeah, it's directly connected to an aux cord, but
And you
still.
sure your volume is up to the max?
I actually put it on my audio editor and increased the decibels to 96.
Mm.
It's still the same.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but before we begin back into our segment with the marine drone competition, Shama, really quick, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
How did you come up with the idea for marine drones? You did establish that you knew about the international competition,
Mhm.
but does it have to be that something? Okay, besides that question, this is a follow up to that.
Mhm.
Is it something, the international competition, is something relating to how the first global robotics Olympics is?
Well, in terms of direct ties, I'm not sure there's a direct link between the two. However, I find that there are a lot of similarities between the two. Right now, I'm not that adept in the work around that is attached to First Global. But I know from what I understand, for First Global, each team goes in with their designed ROV to complete a certain set of tasks in a certain amount of time. And it's the same for the International Marine Drone Challenge, right? While I'm making mention of that, the company that hosts the international competition is a company called Seaperch. That's SEAPERCH, right? You could probably Google it and YouTube it and find some videos of past competitions or pictures that relate to it, so you could have like a general idea of what's going on there, right? But the competitions are based on somewhat real world events, right? Now, I remember the first time I was mentally diving into the first global robotics competition that some of my classmates had participated in, that their job was to separate clean water from dirty water, right? With the use of blue spheres, orange spheres. So it was to separate them. So just like that, the Marine Drone Challenge is something similar in terms of removing trash, removing pollutants out of the water, right? So that was the general idea behind the drone. I mean, we have them the flying already. We have the flying drones, and we got the robots scurrying around, and might as well have something in the water too. Be versatile.
I have a question for you. Do you have any upcoming drones project?
Well, outside of the Marine Drone Challenge, as I say, I don't plan to just let it stop as what it is. All right. Earlier I mentioned that we had 4 schools participating. Now we have at least 20 places between the federation that we could get participants from, right? So pushing forward, the goal is to get it more involved, getting more people to dive in and appreciate, develop, learn, push themselves into acquiring new skills, new ideas. Saying it small, but we got a lot of potential.
Yes.
We got a lot of potential and a lot of it just sitting down on the side doing nothing, right? So the plans for the future is to really push it, make it bigger.
Nice. Another question. Where do you see yourself in a couple of years when it comes to this?
Oh, please. Not to sound pompous or anything like that, but I see myself as being one of the persons on top of drone development. Like,
Gotcha.
in terms of advancements, developments, anything new, I see myself as being on top. Like, I'm probably not before everybody else. Like, you'll probably come to me and be like, oh, I just wanted to say that. I'm like, I know, man. I know.
these projects, there are any like things that you build to, like to help seeing kids?
Yeah.
I don't know if I made sense in that.
Yeah. Well, from what I interpret.
Yeah.
So when I first created my first marine drone, it was it was a fun process.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, how can we make this work for us? You know, cause I mean it's all fun, spit in the water, you know, you got a little fun with it in the water. But like, how can we use it to help us? Now, Saint Kitts is big on tourism,
That is true.
right? And one of the biggest pulling points, one of the biggest attraction points is the beaches,
Yes.
right? We have plenty of beautiful beaches just spread across the federation. Why not keep them presentable? You know,
Yes,
why not
yes.
keep them in a state where you yourself, you're living here all the time and you sit and you're like, boy, this is where I live here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of things affect how our seas and how our oceans are,
Yeah.
right? In terms of, as I mentioned before, you got pollution. It
Yes.
has people who overfish,
That is true.
destroy the coral reefs and all those sort of stuff. So the marine drone itself is to help mitigate some of those issues, right? Pollution, help remove waste out of the water, monitor what's below the surface. Because if you think about it, right? If you watch those commercials online, you know, when you got the divers under the water with
Yeah.
the camera,
Yeah.
right? Just imagine how much it must cost.
To
I'm
do
not
get-
gonna lie. What you just said there actually was, if you hadn't come up with this marine drone idea, you see the drone that's there, the car is sitting there. I was literally getting a camera to fit on to take
See,
it down.
like that's the point. Like, just imagine the amount of money and time it must take to get the resources, to get the divers, to get everything, just to record the 20-second video
Yes,
you're
yes,
seeing for a
yes.
commercial, right? And then to get all the publicized. If we had the marine drone, right? Less resources, less time, less everything, less money spent. You put you get
Yeah,
a proper
camera.
drone, a camera attached to
Oh,
it.
also less casualties.
Less casualties. Never know, somebody might go down there, they forget to refill the oxygen tank, and
Or shark come or
so,
something.
you know,
depending on how
the
deep they
marine
are,
drone now, you get down there, you get everything done. Less casualties, less everything. Save on everything. Save a life, save money, save everything.
But yeah, when you said attraction earlier, I was thinking of something else. I was going to say, but I don't want to. When you say attraction, it's going to clean the ocean, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the ocean is clean, tourists come. But also with tourists, fishes come because it's cleaner. And along with schools of fishes, sharks come.
Okay, we did a bit too much. We did a bit too much.
Can a marine drone be used? Well, alternatively, of course, as a... Okay, coast guards are not always by the coast. So can it be used as something that detects the ocean flow for any large fishes like dolphins, whales, sharks, and so forth? Or identify particular organisms like sharks and all?
Well, everything is still roughly in its first stages, right? So I'm not gonna say.
I mean,
not,
like for future
yeah,
plans.
future plans. I feel like you're not listening when I say I plan to be so up there that them kind of things gonna be beneath me.
That's crazy.
I mean, the technology already exists, right? You have some. Well, if you've watched movies before, you've seen submarines and different ships use their sonars to see, things coming and kind of
You know,
things.
I actually
So-
purchased this sonograph tool because I
what-
wanted to test it out.
Yeah, you're already ahead of time. That's what I like. This is kind of thing I'm trying to promote. Like innovative thinkers. Like, we already have something. How can we make it better?
Right.
We don't have something. How can we get it here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like, there's the three of us here talking, but just imagine the amount of persons that are out there that have the creative and innovative skills but
Exactly.
aren't given a platform to show it. And hence why you should definitely tune into our St. Kitts and Nevis Marine Drone Challenge next weekend, the 30th, 1st, and 2nd, where you can learn something from the marine drones and also learn how you will be able to innovate and save the planet. But if I'm not wrong, the marine drone challenge, from what you said, like cleaning ocean floors and so on, that's part of one of the sustainable development goals, right?
Correct.
So I'm actually matching all similarities between First Global and Sea Perch right now.
As I said, I don't know if they have any conversation going on between the two companies or anything like that, but they have things operating on the same level. So
I mean, they are trying to change the world, and we are trying to change. We're making our first steps right now into a marine drone world.
yeah.
So guys, if you do want to be a part of this, let's say you did have a question.
Yeah, I did. I was going to ask if you will be making this event a annual event.
Yeah. I do plan to make this an annual event. Earlier I mentioned that the company in the US, CPRIDGE, they have an annual international competition. So might as well have an annual competition here.
Yes.
So
yes.
every year we got somebody to go and compete on international level, put them on the map. Because I mean, participants here who went into the first global competition, they stayed here, stay up late at night doing all kind of things, go compete, put St. Kitts name somewhere, continue the trend, keep the trend going.
So you're looking for this to go out?
Yeah.
All right, internationally. Got you.
Push it.
Yeah, so guys, like you heard, it's every year we're going to have the qualifiers that happen in St. Kitts from SKNRA. So you guys, if you do want to be a part of this, and sometimes, we don't really like to jump into things. So if you want to have a quick taste into how it's going to feel like or be like, tune in next week. I'm promoting this way too much.
Yeah, love that. Love that.
So guys, tune in next week. It's going to be live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook at SKNRA, the St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association, or SKN Robotics Association on YouTube. So Shamar, I have another question. I like harassing you now.
Yeah, I know Sanjeev. I know Sanjeev.
Is there some place where they could learn about what the competition's about, what it's like, what the different missions are, what are the courses you call those, and all those?
Of course, Sanjeev. So for those of you that may not know, you can sign on to sknra.org.
Yes.
For more information. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you exactly where to go, which where to click, but you should be adept enough to find your way around it.
Isn't it on the main page?
Where else? Well, yeah, that's the main source for information regarding the competition right now. As time goes on, we're gonna have more documentation, more places, more content for people to get to.
Sounds great. So guys, I am actually promoting this way too much. Promo plug is on fire today. But guys, like you heard it, you heard Shamar say it. The Marine Drone Competition, first time in the Federation. Which are the schools that are participating once again?
Right, schools: Washington Archibald High School, Bastille High School, the Charles E. Mills Secondary School, and the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College.
Guys, if you are from that school, come out, show some support. If you can come out, of course you can, because there's COVID protocols. Go on the YouTube Live or Facebook Live and, spam the chat, spam support for your chat. You want to. Now
Also, make sure y'all backing me, eh? May know what I'm going to be doing, but back me still, Yes, Shaman. Yeah.
Yeah, you should definitely back him from me pushing him into the water, so. So yes, guys. Is there any other information you could provide to them, like as in how the competition would take place? And such?
I was waiting for you, man. I was waiting for you. Right, so how the competition is set up, it's, as I said, the competition takes place underwater, right? So it's a pool event. Each team participating would have to complete a mission course. Now, as I say, each team have to complete, it is still a competition, right? So it's basically a race against your competitor and time, right? So 2 teams face off against each other. They're given a total of 15 minutes to get as much done as possible, right? if a team, if all the tasks are finished, right, the first team to report back to the starting point gains a little, just a small little bonus, you know. So what it is there are several tasks to be done. Some which include deactivating a mine vault set up under the pool, removing dummy waste, reallocating them to safe zones. Well, there are a list of other tasks, but you just have to tune in and see the rest.
So you guys are hearing Shamar. You need to be hyped up from this.
Yeah, I'm hyped here.
Educational.
We
very
all are.
educational.
So Shamar, once again, what you're doing is actually fascinating.
It
Most
is.
persons right now are probably watching and be like, "Why am I not part of this?"
Ah,
And I
as they
best
should.
believe tomorrow there's going to be a huge commotion at Bastia High, Washington, Sems, and CFBC. They're
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
like, "Who is the team?"
get the energy pumping.
So, how many persons can be on a team? Because from what we know, last year, 2020 first global competition, I was the team captain with a team of 30 people. And the year before that, it was a team of only 8. So,
Oh, okay.
how many persons are in this competition?
So, for the purpose of the Marine Drone Challenge, there are 3 members from each team, right? Well, from each school. So, amongst themselves, they're gonna work out, okay, who will be doing what, in terms of the engineering, because, as I say, is to help encourage and promote different skills, engineering skills, because they're going to have to create a drone that's both efficient in terms of speed and in getting the task done. Because, for instance, some of the tasks include reallocating items within the water. If you put a drone in the water that cannot lift up something or can't move something, just like that, you can do nothing in the water. What is the purpose, right? So I forget what was asked.
But from what you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is a great thing that you said, that they need to have an engineer.
Correct.
But does that mean that they need to have specific qualifying prerequisites, like physics, maths, and so on?
No. Well, no, but teams or persons who had some kind of knowledge when it comes to stuff like technical drawing and maybe woodwork, electricity, like students like those would be very much essential in terms of putting together a team, because they already have an idea of how certain things work, right? As opposed to somebody like me who's never done electricity or woodwork, having to come and be like, okay, so if I put this here, you won't blow anything, because you blow, you're gonna panic and everybody gonna start to panic. But don't worry, guys, I got y'all. So outside of the engineer, there is to have, so they need to have someone who is going to coordinate the drone, right? So there's going to be a driver, there's going to be someone who adds to the design. Redesigns at the competition are possible, guys, right? So before each round, the team has the availability to make any adjustments to their drone. I mean, there are restrictions, don't get me wrong. You can't go and say you're going to do any old nil thing.
I'm
But-
glad you mentioned that, because I was about to say, because last year for the competition, we actually had certain restrictions for every challenge.
Yeah,
So
everything, you have a lot of restrictions in. You can't switch drones in a body. You can't do a lot of restrictions. In terms of modifications, you can, as I say, you can make the modifications. Different restrictions, as in you can't change your motors, right? You can't change your motors before you're going to compete. Like from the moment you get to the competition site, right, your drone is inspected. to make sure that one, you ain't have nothing that is not supposed to be there, right? Because you may expect somebody to come with a long piece of steel sticking out from the drone, because
I mean, this is not battle bots.
exactly, exactly.
This is not battle bots.
Right, so your drone is inspected to make sure it meets a compliance check. If you do want to make any modifications in terms of, let's say you want to switch a pipe, you know, from, let's say, a T to a cross, right? You can do so, right? But nothing too crazy, guys.
But,
All right.
But would they be able to like customize? Because what we did during like our first global robotics Olympics, right? We used to customize our bots to with like St. Kitts flags and so on.
Yeah, by all means, I'm encouraging that. The more creative you are, the more you put your own touch to it, it just makes it feel more authentic. Like when you know you put it in the water, that's yours, that's mine.
Yeah, but
You
what
know
I'll
what I mean?
suggest is for teams not to go painting because you're going underwater.
You will.
Because that's something I would do. And then be like, oh, crap, my paint's gone.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that at your own leisure. You know, you add your coats of paint somewhere, but for the purpose of the competition, we're restricting that, right? Because this is a pool event. This is not like out in the sea where the paint come off. It's cool.
Yeah.
And paint gonna be no.
But they can like customize with like some kind of flag or something.
Yeah. The more the better. You know, you
Alright.
come, you want to stick on a little your Sems flag and your little Bastille flag this or so, and your little yeah. If you want, the drones come with floats, right, to help with buoyancy. If you want, and you could get floats. The color floats that come with each drone are red, right? If you want, and you could go and say you're gonna get blue floats because BHS.
Question, sorry. What are floats?
Oh,
For
okay.
persons who does not know.
Well, the floats attached to the drone, everybody should know is a pool noodle.
Oh.
And then pool noodles.
I was just wondering when you
Pool
say
what?
floats, I was thinking of the floaties.
The pool noodle, you know the pool noodle?
It's like a it's like
Like, is
a,
that-
it's like a it's it looks like cotton thermocol.
Okay, you know them car salesman flimsy thingies.
Oh.
So it looks something like that. It's just foam, like a long string
Yeah,
of
foam.
foam.
That's the
Okay,
word I was
okay,
looking
okay,
for.
okay,
Right?
okay.
It's like a long stick like foam.
Yeah, right. So if you know you want to get some blue floats, because you use Bastille, or you want to get orange, because you use washi. I mean, by all means, come, show me what you got. Show me what you got.
Okay. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How, like, considering most persons won't know how to, like, control the drone and so forth, how do you get them to that point?
Right. So earlier I mentioned there were 3 members to be a part of a team. Also attached to a team is a mentor, a teacher from the school.
Okay.
Right? Now, in terms of the how-tos, First of all, well, personally, I don't think it's that complicated, But you got to think about the people, who actually might think it actually is complicated. So before we get to the competition state, right? There are plans to have a little training session, right? So the marine drone has a default build guide, right? So it has a default build, So for the purpose of the training, I'll be showing how the default is built, different aspects about it, the buoyancy, the motors, the propellers, the tether, the cables, everything, just a brief thing. But obviously they won't come in with their own design and everything.
So how long does this take?
To build, well, each their own.
That's actually a great question because you said there's less than a week and a half left. Or less than a
Yes.
week.
Yes. Building a drone, well, as I said, to each their own. Everybody has their own time frames. But the maximum I've estimated it to take in terms of coming up with a design and then actually building it, I'd say roughly 3 to 5 days at most, right? That's mainly before the design process behind it, because the default build itself takes like, I mean, if you're working with somebody or if you have all the appropriate tools, it shouldn't take you more than an hour. That's the default build. If you could do it yourself, once you got all the necessary tools, it doesn't take more than an hour.
Okay.
Right? So it's just the time it'll take for design purposes, really and truly.
All right.
Okay, follow-up question to what was said.
Mhm.
Now, let's say there's a malfunction with a design. Because I know when you build certain things, there's multiple malfunctions that take place. And sometimes malfunctions can take place on the spot during the event.
Okay. So, two things. It's great that you mentioned that because when I started my first drone, I wanted to be big and bad. You know, I wanted to do it myself, you know? My project, I can do it. And it just so happened, one of the things I had to do was solder pads to the board, right? And I didn't solder it properly and blew the fuse. No, this was about a week before I had to present my project. And to get a fuse like that was one of the hardest things to do. I was freaking out, head to toe, right? I mean, eventually I got it done, you know, because I always get things done, right? But for the purpose of the competition, we do have what we call a clinic, right? So the clinic is based off of spare parts. No,
Are we
I'm
gonna
not.
have a doctor as well?
Yeah, we have two. We have a doctor and a nurse. We got them going. No, I'm not saying that you can't come with your problems. But if you're gonna come with a problem such as you didn't wire your motor properly, right? We give a replacement motor. You come back, same problem, fine. Give you another motor. You come back again. Something needs to
Something they're
change,
doing.
right? So we do have replacement materials of all sorts. We have replacement motors, propellers, piping for the drone, extras, floats. We got everything
But
for
question
you.
is, like you mentioned, like you're gonna have two persons there, right?
Mhm.
Would those two persons actually assist in like changing the thing? Because I'm I'm guessing the competition is fast paced.
It is. Well, it is relatively fast-paced. In terms of assistance at the competition itself, I say everybody's going to have a mentor, right? If there is further assistance needed beyond the mentor, right? All the coordinators there, well, let me not say all. Few of the coordinators there would have some knowledge in terms of helping with redesigns or changing anything, right? So if further assistance is needed, it is available, right? Yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned when the event starts, like the time frame.
Oh yeah, it starts again, guys. Tune in. It starts. The game day is 1st of May. It starts at around 10:30. But let me just pull up my calendar and just make sure I get it.
10:30. I will be sleeping.
Say, you boy, you miss it. You see me, you fight.
Well, I have to be there because I'm the program director.
My point.
And I'm the IT director.
Yeah, so we
So have me apolocated, guys. It starts at 10.
Up.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
that's
They
even
know I'm-
earlier.
Y'all know what I mean. It starts at 10, guys. So tune in at 10 a.m. on the 1st of May to catch the first and never before seen in our Federation Marine Drone Challenge.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before we go any further, right, I just want to show deepest gratitude and send a big shout out to the sponsors for the Marine Drone Challenge. Sponsors are Flo, Cajola Cristada Limited, the St. Kitts Nevis Cooperative Credit Union, Regiwell Francis, the Carrier Breweries, and
ECCB.
the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank.
Yes,
Right?
yes, yes.
Right? So big shout out and heartfelt gratitude to our sponsors because without them, you know, nothing being gonna keep. So special thanks to you guys.
So I have another question. I'm asking you too many questions right now.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
All right. For this event, obviously I'm going to be there. because I'm coordinating the entire event with you,
Yep.
and I have my team
left
there.
hand. My left hand.
We are each other's
No,
hand.
no, you're my left hand. I want you to know that. Left, not the right.
I am no one's hand. I'm myself. But we have our teams coming who will be there to coordinate and ambassador each of the teams, if I'm correct. Also, along with this, we would have other medical personnel that will be there on GAD.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
like you mentioned, we are going to have divers as well.
Yep. Just in the event. Let me just make this clear as well. Now, as I said, there will be training sessions for each team, so they'd have a good idea of what to expect. Now, as I said, there's a timer, right? There's 15 minutes allotted for each round. Now, if you're gonna go, I mean, maintain everybody perfect, right? But we have to keep a level of fairness, right? So, two teams participating. If one team is gonna go and they do something and their drone is tangled, right? No, you do have the option of signaling to say, okay, my drone tangled, can't get moved. A diver will get in, untangle you, put you back exactly where we left you, and you continue. However, right, it's all a matter of teamwork and maneuverability, because if you do tangle yourself, the timer is not stopping for you. So the amount of time it takes to get you out, for you to continue, that is also something that's going to be weighed down on you, right? So as
Teamwork is key.
Teamwork is key. Key 21st century skill, teamwork, right?
I'm actually fascinated.
Yeah.
I love and I'm pretty sure everyone else is too. Y'all should be.
So
Feel
for
is to put
all
feel-
our viewers right now, we actually have quite few viewers. We have actually answered most of the questions the viewers have had. So, guys, once again, go and definitely check us out next weekend. It's for a full weekend, right?
Yep. See you there, guys. So excited. So excited.
So excited.
I'm just lost.
You never see that?
No,
Wow.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
You for sure been under a rock. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
I actually have been. I have this tiny little rock like Patrick the Star, right?
Patrick.
Yeah, I have this like the tiny little smooth rock like Patrick the Star,
Wow.
and I just be under it.
Even Patrick knows more than you. Come on.
Whoa. Okay, that's a roast. So we're turning this into a roast battle now? Damn.
Leave me out of it. Leave me out of it. I'm already shot. That's the first thing people go to.
You see, today we had a conversation. For our listeners, today we had a conversation, me and Shama. I have been holding the title for being the shortest dude, actually. There are other people the same height as me,
5
but
feet flat.
I'm not 5 feet. I'm 5'8".
And that's what you call short.
You 5 what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you are taller than me.
I'm
Well,
5'8".
You
Little
call
inch.
5'8" short.
I'm 5'8".
Shema, you're probably the same height as me.
You two should just
5'7".
stand up. You two should stand up.
5'7".
Wait, both of you should stand up.
No, I'm not gonna embarrass myself like that.
But yeah, I've been telling myself for years now that I'm the shortest.
You look short. Not gonna lie.
Well, yeah.
That's because
yeah.
I wear some really baggy clothing.
Mm. So off of me, guys. Let me just jump off of me real quick. Something I was gonna mention.
He forgot.
I did. I really did.
I was gonna say something, but it's a roast. It's not a roast battle.
Right. So let me just jump back on topic real quick, guys. No, I don't want the teams participating to think that, oh, okay, it's just a competition to win and compete, right? This is something to inspire and promote, right? It might not seem like much, it might not feel like much, it might not overall be that much to you, right? But it's a stat.
And
Right.
he's gonna have a good impact.
Yeah.
It's a stat, but we are blowing it up.
Exactly. You know, a lot of things. Well, I'm guilty of this. All of my friends could tell you this, right? A lot of us sleep on our talents, right?
That is true.
They probably hear me now and abusing me, right? Because they always tell me the same thing. I always sleep on my talents. It's always my self-consciousness, pressure, anxiety, like talking on the radio. I'm literally seeing two faces that I see frequently enough, and I had a whole panic attack before we started. You know what I mean?
We all.
Right. So it's just we hold back ourselves, right? The Marine Drone Challenge for me is something to step out of that kind of comfort zone, you know, because for it I have to be out there, like I have to be in front. I've done interviews with ZIZ, I've done interviews with SK Newsline. Both of those are there in front of a camera, and you know, as I say, I done freaking out, but I had to do it, you know. So for me, it's just a chance to develop myself, right? So no kind of project, no kind of idea that you probably have as small or as insignificant you think it might be, somebody might be there to help you say it could be much bigger than that, right? I mean, for instance, the robotics at the college, y'all wouldn't like to know how that started.
Oh,
But
they
then-
actually do know.
they
They
do.
actually do.
Well, my point exactly. Like, just imagine that random thought to get where we are now, competing in international competition.
Exactly.
Right? So I mean, so
But
That's
you see what you
crazy.
just mentioned, right?
mm,
We have spoken about this numerous times in the past. Especially this particular episode, I remember it was our 17th episode on the 17th of November with our guest, Mr. Pierre Leibert from the Department of Youth. So our entire episode was featuring how we spent our quarantine learning our new skills. Because I'm going to be honest, I've been doing YouTube, video editing and so on since 2016. But I have been sleeping on it for a while. But then
Quite funny.
during quarantine, I was like, let me try things. Let
yeah,
me try.
even that quarantine opened up some people's eyes. So you know, you're probably home. A normal day-to-day thing. You're home and you're saying, "Oh man, I feel like doing this. I'm gonna just go outside. I'm gonna do something." These kind of things, you had no choice but to sit down at home. So you might as well pick up on something. So you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
even the whole COVID situation helped some people to step out of the comfort zone.
I just took COVID as the entire quarantine thing as an advantage to myself.
Oh well, I was miserable. So
So that's when I learned a lot of things. And that is what you just said is most persons are sleeping on what they actually can do. And maybe they don't know they can do it yet.
even that.
They just need a person someone to talk to them and show them
Yes.
what they have.
Or
Yeah,
unless
somebody
you
to
try,
encourage
you
them,
wouldn't know.
somebody to make the first step with them. You know what I mean?
Because recently I found out one of my best friends does not know how to use a hammer.
What? Okay, okay, Sanjay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm like...
I'm not gonna judge.
But yes, guys. Once again, tune in next weekend, as we go our St. Kitts and Nevis Marine Drone competition. Now, unfortunately, we need to end the episode right here. So I'm
Already,
gonna.
man?
Yeah, this one went
unfortunate.
fast.
Wow.
It was fast. It was quite fast. So, guys, real quick, I'm switching character into promo plug. So, guys, promo plugs in the studio. If you guys want to check us out, you can on our socials. But tune in every other Tuesday on 98.9 Win FM to join your hosts Kivisha Gums and Naim Richardson as we uncover the various realms within IT and STEAM. We also go live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch at Win Media SKN. Let's Talk IT is also available as a podcast on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and Spotify.
You get this one.
No.
Wait, wait. Hold a minute. Just before you continue. Just want to re-mention our sponsors, you know? Give them the extra shout out. Like,
Of course.
y'all need to know. Y'all, it's amazing. So, sponsors for the St. Kitts Nevis, first ever St. Kitts Nevis Marine Drone Challenge. Flo, Carrier Breweries, St. Kitts Nevis Corporate Credit Union, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Cajola Cristado Limited, and Reginald Francis. A big shout out to y'all for sponsoring our upcoming event.
Alright, guys. So if you guys do want to check this event out, you can go and check it out on our SKNRA social media pages, which is on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, and LinkedIn at SKNRA, the St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Association, and SKN Robotics Association on YouTube. And to be updated on everything IITAE, check us out on our socials, which are Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at IITAE or IITAE Limited. Now, A big shout out to our show sponsors, which is SKNRA, the St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Association, IITAE, the International Information Technology Academy of Excellence, and TDC. Guys, it was great having you guys here today.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure, man.
Yo, real quick, how confident are you that the the Marine Drone competition is going to come out?
What do you mean, how confident I am?
on
You
a-
ain't see
on
me
a-
here sitting down?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
On a scale. Sanjeev, you ain't see me here sitting down?
My guy break the
Like-
scale.
Alright, guys.
I told you, man. Anything I put my hands on, I get it done.
We are breaking records for first ever Marine Drone competition happening in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Guys, next weekend on the 30th, 1st and 2nd. Check us out on our socials. And until the next time we come on with our host, Kvisha Gums, Naim Richardson, and your producer and director, Sanjeev Suresh. See you
See you
guys.
then.
Peace out.
Right.
Join us on WinFM every other Tuesday for Let's Talk IT from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to hear our hosts, Naeem Richardson and Janiqua Esdale, speak about